Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. Of course, there is the meltdown from the Arsenal fans after pre-season, or the actual banter from rivals after Arsenal lost 1-0 in a pre-season game. But lethargic performance from Arsenal, worrying signs that a lot of Arsenal content creators are actually talking about right now. Victor Gyokeres has had like 12, 15 minutes that is here, and he hasn't performed well, or he has. I think people are reading too much into it. Of course, Liverpool are about to bid for Isak for the 50,000 times we are waking up this morning. For Liverpool agreed terms with Isak, he's waiting. But there is news that Isak has actually held a meeting with the Newcastle hierarchy, and PIF have told him, you're not for sale, you're staying put this season. We'll see how that goes. But you look at today, City have concluded the window. They have extended Nico O'Reilly's contract. So we're gonna talk about watch the game, but I have watched the game. And it is active for whatever reason. I know my internet is. If it acts up, you guys like carry the show.
No worries, bro.
I have like.
You should go reset them.
You might as well go and reset it and come back in. You might as well reset, come back.
So Liverpool,
Hey, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Liverpool? Or do you want to go with City first until Mo sorts his internet?
We can start with Liverpool. Why not? That's more relevant because like the Isak news is going crazy. I know your fan base is going crazy about it. So, but I have a question for you. Do you think that's the right signing for you?
Yes, I think we need a number 9. I think we need someone that's proven within the Premier League. I think his skill sets, is good at holding up the ball, good in the air, can finish left foot, right foot. He can link play. I think he suits Liverpool down to a T as well. And he just feels like a Liverpool player to me. It feels like it. Sorry, Newcastle fans, my bad, but it is what it is. A bigger club is involved, so we're gonna get him unless you guys play hardball, and I don't think he'll go down nice for you guys because I think of the long-term effect when other players go, okay, they're gonna make it this difficult for us to leave if we want to leave. It might stop players from thinking about signing, and it might be with the players that's already here thinking about leaving. So, yeah, I think he's perfectly suits us.
I think he's a great player, no doubt about that. And he would fit your team like a T. I totally agree with you on that. But I think you should be spending the money on some center backs. I think your center back situation is very precarious. Because right now you have
You're
three
right.
center backs. One of them is 34. I know he's
Mhm.
fantastic, but Father
Yeah.
Time is going to eventually catch up to him. And I've seen from experience, sometimes you just fall off a cliff. It's not a slow decline. Kanate is injury
Look,
prone, and his head is turned. His head's in Real Madrid right now, and Joe Gomez. Nothing to say there. If you're relying on Joe Gomez, you're not repeating. I'll just say that.
Listen, some great points there. The one thing, obviously, Virgil is the best, and he's found a way to keep himself in the best condition. But you're right, Father Time normally wins at the end of it. But I think with Virgil, similar to like Salah, I think they can play on until they're close to their 40s. Can they do that in the Premier League? I think we just have to wait and kind of see. You're right with the Kanate stuff. That's one thing I definitely want us to go and solve because I haven't seen any new offers. The only thing that I'm kind of happy about is he's starting to do a lot more media work. So I don't know, does that mean there's contract conversation in the background going on and potentially he's going to sign? And the Joe Gomez stuff. He left the preseason tour because he had a minor, they say, Achilles injury. So that leaves us down to two centre backs with one that's injured. So you're right. But I think at the moment, because of the severity in terms of how far we've now gone with Isak, I think getting this done, and then there's plenty of time left in the window. There's Mark Gay being linked to Liverpool, and I'm sure there's a few other like younger defenders as well we've got on the radar. But I think we want to get this saga done and dusted, and then I think it should be full guns blazing to sort out the back line because I need to see a contract before the end of this window to Ibu, and I also want to see at least another centre back in the club. But listen, we're doing what we need to do in the right moments, man. So I'm kind of happy at the moment. Just solve those issues and we're good to go.
I'm not
And
lagging
if
now.
you
I
have
know
the
that.
money to buy
We're good.
Isak
We're good.
plus 2 or 3 center backs, more power to you. I'm not a fan who whines about you spending money. I don't care. Spend as much as you want.
I don't know why we get so much stick for spending now. Because before we weren't spending, everyone said you need to spend. Now we spend, they're complaining that we're spending too much.
Because people just want to whine. Arsenal fans want to whine because their club doesn't want to spend any money. I mean, they did spend some money this time, but they're not spending 400 in a window ever.
They spent close to like 200 and something already this window, haven't they? Like they've signed like 6 players. I think they've done so. Like, I don't get it.
Everybody's spending. Chelsea are
Let
spending.
me,
My team only spent like 120, and everyone's like, it's going under the radar, but that's fine.
guys, it's 700 people in the house, guys, and we're not even on 100 likes. Guys, we need the likes up a little bit. Told you, Mo, people do want to believe me. Victor is poo. And it is his first game, bro. Had 2 touches, by the way. He also runs like chunks. He's a fraud. You will see. He is, Terry, you're so adamant that Victor Gyokeres will be a bust for Arsenal. Since yesterday, he's so adamant that he is absolutely like bust. Like he's not going to be that good. And it's just astonishing to me. Like you think that after like, after like 15 minutes of watching him play for Arsenal, you are adamant. But I want to go back to Liverpool and the Alexander Isak situation and everything. Someone tweeted that the Alexander Isak to Liverpool might create a lot of some problems because of the number of stars that will be in the team. Ekitike, what is Ekitike going to play? He probably joined Liverpool hoping that he will start more games, that he's going to be the starting striker for Liverpool. And Isak joining is different. I disagree with this. I'm keeping the same energy. When you're going for the Champions League and the Premier League and the Cups, basically, Man City did it with a lot of players. Man City had Sterling, Mahrez, Haaland. Sorry, Sterling, Mahrez, Sane, if I'm not mistaken. Who else was a winger? Bernardo Silva was
Sane
there.
Had left.
Like,
when
no.
got there. Maybe
Sane left. No, they actually I think they overlapped for a season or something like this.
I think there's that one season where Sane was still on the team but he was injured.
Yeah, but my point about it, you need all of that. Liverpool need all of this. My only worry for Liverpool, to be honest, is that how good is that midfield for you if you don't sign a DM? You know what I mean? If you don't sign a DM. Guys, we're waiting for Jessica. Jessica's joining us in a second. She just texted me. She's a little bit late. We'll talk about the game. We'll talk about Arsenal, but we're just starting with Liverpool and City topics. Go ahead.
Look, I think you're right in terms of the defensive midfield. I think that's something we've kind of needed, but we've got so many midfielders at the moment. And in the way that I've seen in the preseason game so far, how Arne Slot want to play, he wants not only the midfielders that can be combative, but he also needs them that, midfielders that can move the ball really quickly. And I think, look, a defensive midfielder stops and helps in transition moments. But I think with Liverpool and the way we want to play, we're going to have the ball more than most teams. Apart from, you say, when we play the Cities, the Arsenals, and even a Chelsea, for an example, they are very good at retaining the possession and stuff. So a defensive midfielder against those type of teams, yes. I think for the other ones, with no disrespect, I think the midfielders we currently have in the squad are more than capable enough. Also, seeing Szoboszlai as well sitting more deeper has very impressed me. I don't know if you guys have caught any of the Liverpool preseason games.
I did watch some of the Milan game.
Yeah, him sitting a bit lower. Yeah, I can see.
You still got cooked in the transition with Leao.
I get that. But
by the way, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Yeah. In the league, Liverpool will play like this. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. The only teams that you might not play like this will be against Arsenal and City. Right? These are the only two teams. The rest of the 17 teams you play home away, 34 games, you're going to have position. Teams are going to hit you on the transition. Gravenberch has been phenomenal last season. People underestimated how good of a job he did, especially in that first like 25, 30 games of the season in transition. But he slowed down at the end. Is it beyond the realm of possibility that Gravenberch doesn't do the same job? And now Liverpool in transition get hit more, especially with the way I saw you play in the friendlies. Gyokeres and Frimpong are basically wingers. Like, this is ridiculous. I actually watched the positional play after the game. Yeah. What is this, bro? Liverpool have 6 players on the same line up front. Then 2 in the middle, then 2 at the back. That was like, it's like 2-2-6. I've never seen a formation like this. But it works in attack. It works. And it's genius by Ornstein.
Like, 3-1-6, but not a 2-2-6.
Do you know what?
It was, watch the, Ince can tell you, in the positional, it was 2-2-6. 6 players up front.
They kind of hovered as a forward, and they hovered like left and right midfielders. Yeah. But they were like forward more. But I think this is what preseason's for, guys. It's about testing and trying different tactics in, what we're going to need in different games. Because there could be games where we're behind and you're like, how do we adjust? How do we adapt? There's going to be teams we play against with 5 at the back. How do we adapt to that? Because that's one of Liverpool's weaknesses at times. We struggle to, break down the low blocks. Man City, I would say, are probably the best at breaking down low blocks. Arsenal somewhat, but they struggle for themselves as well. But we struggle. That's normally our kryptonite. And then these teams catch us in the transition. So I think just testing out different shapes, different formations, different tactics. That's what preseason's for. I do expect us in the Premier League to go to a 4-2-3-1 and play like that. But obviously, depending on the game situation, we'll adjust it. And you're right. When you said about the transition against AC, there was only one in the first half. I'd say, yep. And then, he scored from it. Rafael Leao scored from it. But in the second half, you're talking about like a really weird
team. Can I tell you the reality ends?
That got caught in the transition. Can I tell you guys in the chat something that probably you won't hear it from anybody? Mm-hmm. There is a player in the Premier League like Rafael Leao. Like, no team in the Premier League has a Rafael Leao. Like, can drive with the ball against like 2-3 defenders with that physical attribute that he has in the sprint. There is not one. And that, like, I need people in the chat to tell me. I need one player in the Premier League that can pick up the ball in their half and have the confidence and the physique to drive like this against a Liverpool team on his own. He will fail sometimes, that he will succeed. Probably every 3 times he will succeed, which is what happened. Nobody. People say Doku. Doku, my ass.
Doku, my ass. But he does drive with the ball.
Bro, the guy is built like a tank. You watched him against Liverpool. They were like bouncing off him. There's nobody. Nobody can do this.
I think in the Premier League, you have more right-sided players than you have left-sided players.
And even right-sided players. Like, he's not that quick and tall and physical. Like we watched him against Arsenal today. Like, he stopped when they get like 2 on him, he stops a little bit, bring in his teammates. But mostly, what I mean by that is like Liverpool are not gonna face someone like Leao every day in the league. Like, that doesn't happen every day. Like, one game or something like this. People say Semenyo, fucking have some shame. Oh my god.
What's your beef with
Semenyo? Definitely lacking some left.
He's a good player, but he's not Rafael Leao, to be honest. To be honest with you, I'm a big admirer of Rafael Leao, even though he plays for Milan. I'm an Inter fan. Like, I have nightmares about Rafael Leao. Nightmares about Rafael Leao. Like, you just don't understand how dangerous this guy is. Oh my word.
He's top
He's
player.
so inconsistent. Because I watched some Milan because they have Americans on their team, and
the thing
he's
about
so up and
him
down.
is
Like,
like
his
his
form drops so
ego.
much.
His ego. Like Adama Traore, you know what I mean? But he's way more talented than Adama Traore. But someone said, oh my God. Guys in the chat, I need someone to respond to my man here saying that Mo, come out, you are a Liverpool fan. Wallah al-azim, alhamdulillah, I'm doing a great job on YouTube because I've been called a Liverpool fan, an Arsenal fan, a Chelsea fan. Like, I've done a great job, to be honest. When
are you going to become a City fan?
When Marmoush plays very well, and maybe I'll cheer for Marmoush. He's my Egyptian man, my Egyptian guy. You know what I mean? Like, once Salah leaves. But as of now, I'm Team Salah, to be honest with you. You know, like, I'm Team Salah.
I'm Team Salah 100%. Big season.
So yeah, Marmoush is gonna have a good season. But listen, City ends. Why is no one taking them seriously?
It's a tough one.
Like that. You aren't taking them seriously.
No. I personally, I do. But I'm just looking at why would everyone else kind of not think they're good enough? I don't know. Maybe the way they spin. For me, I think it's a City back line, and maybe you're gonna disagree, Tels, but I think it's the back line in transition for me doesn't look good. I think the attack is really good. I think the midfield is getting there. I like Reinders. I think he's a good midfielder. But I just look at the defense and I'm just like, you can get caught out so easy there. And I think the fear factor as well. I'm a big fan of the fear factor. I think Man City last season, a lot of teams that normally wouldn't try it against them tried it and got success. So everyone's like, oh, we go at them, we're gonna get something out of the game. I think that's what they lack now. I think it's similar to when I was watching my team before we got that back. Teams used to be like, oh, we'll just go at Liverpool and we'll get something. But now I've noticed the fear factor. They go in a back five. They sit back and they try transitions instead of, oh, actually, we're going to gamble and leave players forward. So I think they're losing their fear factor. I think the defense could do with a little bit of work, but they've got some good players there. It's just about trying to get the right combination. And then, I don't know, they've got Haaland. They missed him a lot last season as well. KDB, they missed a lot last season. Just trying to get someone that's going to be that creator in the team. Foden went missing for pretty much the whole season until the back end of it. So they've got top players. Is whether or not they can put it all back together as well. And obviously Pep last season got rattled quite a lot, which was entertaining for obviously the rivals and myself. Yeah, but look, he's a top manager. Let's see what he can do. But I'm just confident in my own team. And I think Arsenal fans will say they're confident in their team. I think City, obviously.
Nobody's confident.
Oh, my fan base is very confident. There's plenty of people I know who say that we're going to win the title. I'm not ready to go there yet, but I think we've made really good signings that are going very, very under the radar. Like, I think Tijani Reinders is going to be an outstanding signing. And I think a big part of the defense is going to be that midfield. Because last year, the midfield, as I whined about constantly, was just so porous. Nobody get the ball forward. And then in transition, that midfield in particular, Kovacic, Bernardo, and Gundo, who played most of the minutes, were all terrible at transition. I think Reinders is going to help that. I think once Rodri gets his fitness back, that's going to make a massive difference because people forget like what a stop plug he is. Like he makes such a difference. But again, it's going to take him some time to get his fitness back. We've already seen my fan base is flipping out right now because nobody's seen him in training yet. So I don't know what's going on there. But mentally, I'm not sure he's going to start the first game. We'll see. But that's going to help a lot. And just not playing not playing Gundogan every game like we had to last season because there literally was no one else. I think that's going to be such a difference. And when the midfield can actually hold the ball and win the ball back and win some duels, and it's not just constantly going to the defense, I think the defense won't be under as much pressure.
Yeah.
So that could help a lot. Like just having a better midfield is going to help the defense quite a bit. I think the keeper situation is still that's a concern for me.
By the way, there is news that Ederson might leave actually.
Yeah, that's been a rumor all summer, and it's been up and down. Yeah. Apparently, Galatasaray offered us 3 million euros for him.
Let me
Turkish media.
Please,
I mean, at least we have a successor, somebody who. At least we have brought somebody in, but that's a risk too. I think Ederson with his head in Galatasaray is a risk, and Trafford is a risk too. But That's just what this season, that's what's
Blaze, I'm gonna do your super chat when Jess is here. She's just joining, and we'll talk about Arsenal and everything. Kel, you should have a word with Professor Crybaby Hamza.
I've done 2 streams with him in the past 10 days. One of them was a 2.5-hour cry session. The one on Monday got really bad. I was only there for part of it. I had to go for a work meeting, so I couldn't stay for the whole stream. But yes, he's definitely.
Can I ask you guys
crying a lot?
Yeah. Can I ask you guys
something on the stream, which never happens.
Can I ask you guys something for you? Do you guys think that Liverpool can dominate like what City did if they sign Alexander Isak for the next 2-3 years? Does people in the chat think that? Can I get a yes or no in the chat? Can Liverpool actually dominate like City? I'm not saying in Europe. City won 1 Champions League, but can they dominate the league?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think they're gonna have a super team to start with because they'll have Salah and Van Dijk, but it's a question of if these new signings can get up to that level because those two are generational. And to say that Isak and Florian Wirtz are going to get to that level is, I think, a little premature. I need to see it first.
Nah, listen, I think we kept the core group together and got rid of the deadwood, and we've made the team stronger. We've improved the positions. A lot of people said last season we needed left back sorted out. We need a creator because we lost Trent. Got right back to replace him. We need a number 9. People last season between the two, RIP to Jota, but between him and Nunes, they both, I think, he ended up on 10 goals. So we've got Ekitike and one of the, bright future ahead of him, and getting one of the killers in the Premier League. I can't see why we couldn't. I honestly, because we don't lose many games as it is. Unless you have a mad season where you get loads of injuries, we don't tend to lose a lot of football games. So, and the only times we end up probably dropping points sometimes is an off day, maybe overconfidence with us. But other than that, we normally maybe 1 or 2, maybe we play City and lose, Chelsea and Arsenal, you'd probably say we kind of sometimes lose with those. But other than that, we beat most teams. So we can dominate. We've improved the squad. We haven't got worse. And we still got Mohamed Salah and we still got Virgil van Dijk.
It's not only that you improved. What people don't understand, this is what is going to sound like people think that I'm glazing. Liverpool have not improved. Liverpool have stepped up another floor in terms of the signings. On paper, and football is not played on paper. Having someone like Florian Wirtz in your team, when for the longest time they didn't have a creator like this, on paper, he should transform how this midfield work. Transform completely how this midfield work. Signing someone like Ekitike and having a striker ahead of him in Isak, which is one is 25 and one is 23, that doesn't happen often, right? Mohamed Salah, if people think that Mohamed Salah is going to slow down, his slowdown is 25 to 30 GA. And that is, by anyone's definition, it's probably PFA player of the season. Basically, when someone gets 30 GA, they get player of the season. Mohamed Salah does this year in, year out. The least he's done is 25. That was one season. And then one season, 27 and 29. And then the other 5 seasons plus 30. The people don't understand this. Virgil van Dijk. And also, renewing Konate and getting Guehi, if you get Guehi, the level that Liverpool are stepping, and people think, why are you overhyping them? Because on paper, they fucking look amazing. On paper. The only position that I think is not amazing is the left winger in Gakpo. It's and he's not bad. He's just, in comparison with the other aspects of the team, he's okay. You know what I mean? In comparison with having a Salah, Isak, McAllister, Gravenberch, Wirtz, that is ridiculous. You know what I mean? And then you look at this and I'm like,
I'm not putting
Wirtz.
The other one.
Wirtz.
Wirtz and Szoboszlai are not in the same sentence. Sorry.
But that's why, I misspoke. I said Szoboszlai, but I mean Wirtz.
Okay.
Some people, here we go. People say that I'm twerking. Prove me wrong. Send me a chat. Don't send a super chat. It's not about super chat. You are talking about a team that basically in every single position has a player that is a competitor for probably top 5 in their position in the Premier League. That is enough. Never won back-to-back. But I'm never saying that they can win back-to-back. I'm talking about the team. You are doing the Twitter banter.
Yeah.
This is the Twitter banter.
They also said that we was not favourites. Everyone said Liverpool weren't favourites last season, and then we showed up. And not only that, that team ended up winning the league, and we've improved that team.
I think other teams have improved though massively as well. Like the top four from last, what is it? Yeah, Chelsea, City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. I think it's gonna be a dogfight. We're all going to take a lot of points off of each other, and it's just we can beat up the lower teams.
Chelsea is so underrated, in my opinion. Yeah. It's so underrated.
And if they get Donnarumma, that elevates them a lot.
I don't think they're going to get Donnarumma. I don't think they're going to do it. Ends look like Rio's father, and now I can't unsee it. Yeah. Yeah. Big up Mookie, Habibi. Thank you so much. If they keep going this way in the transfer market and fixes the issues of the previous seasons, yes, we will. That's how City dominated. City dominated not because of the players, because of the manager. Let me just establish something, guys.
Players don't know. And players as well.
No.
They needed the manager to get the best out of the players.
Yeah, I'm telling you something.
And I don't know if Slot can do that.
Can I guys tell you the truth? The last player, City, like there are two players in Pep's era, when in City's era, where they have signed a player like Wirtz in terms of like a profile, in terms of like a stature. Kevin De Bruyne, when he won with Wolfsburg, and Erling Haaland. Everyone else was a good player, like an Ekitike, for example. I'm going to give you an example. Ekitike for Frankfurt was similar to Bernardo for Monaco. You remember that Monaco team had Bakayoko, they had Fabinho. Like they had some good players, and Bernardo was one of the cool. Yeah. They had one. He was one of the good guys. You get my point. Ruben Diaz was a defender, like from Portugal. He was one of the good defenders, but okay, nothing like. Basically, he wasn't a Van Dijk as of now. You know, he wasn't Sergio Ramos. Like Rodri was when he came in. Rodri was benched. I mean, and they asked for. It's all about Pep Guardiola's system ends. That man is a genius. He will create a system. Mahrez, probably yes. Mahrez from Leicester. Probably yes. Mahrez one player of the season. Yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you so much for people reminding me. Haaland and what's his name? And Kevin De Bruyne. That's it. Liverpool are, there is nobody else. Remind me, what's a super, like, what I mean, like someone that is one of the best in the world. My point about it is just forget the names. My point is Pep Guardiola have created a system that will work. Again, I'm going to repeat this again for the people that have not watched me for a longer time. That work against probably 17 out of the 19 teams he plays. Like a system that works. He did it with Barcelona. He did it with Bayern. And that is what can Arne Slot do this? By the way, when they signed Raheem Sterling, he was a good player at Liverpool. Like he wasn't like a superstar. Can they do this? He is amazing, Pep Guardiola, in this. He's phenomenal. You know what I mean? In terms of creating a system. We have seen Arne Slot create a good system last season. But can he create a system that is dominant?
That's the question. I think it's going to be, I don't know if I'm going to be honest. Can he do it? But I've seen the players he's trying to get in, which he's got in already, and the ones that he's trying to still get in. It just means to me that this manager means business and he wants to win. So whether or not that equates to creating a formula or a system on, that's going to be able to kill those 17 teams you're saying, I think we have to kind of wait and see. But we only lost, what, 1 game, 2 games, I want to say? Forest.
I remember that.
I remember who was the last one. So we did find a formula. Whether all he has to do now is tweak it. And he's got better weaponry now as well. So just tweak that. Don't lose that 1 game. And there you go. That's a system there ready to go again.
I think it'll be interesting if he gets chased too, because last year nobody really put the fear of God into you towards the end. And you're basically coasting since like February. So let's see, man. If City had not gone 1-13, we did go undefeated in like the last 15 games of the season. So if we had not just been so awful earlier in the season, we might have chased you down. Not chased you down. I'm not saying we would have won the league. Not at all. I'm just saying if we had been a little closer and there was pressure on you, maybe you don't perform the same. You just never know. We haven't seen Slot get tested yet. So I think that's going to happen this season because there's 3 really good teams out there that are going to challenge Liverpool next season.
No, you're right.
And everybody has a glaring weakness too.
No, you're right. I think City would have, but you've seen when us and City go at it. Obviously not under the Arne on Slot, but we've gone toe to toe. We've gone 15 and 15, 20 and 20. So the team
City
can
came out
do
on
it.
top every time.
I know, but
every time we were close, City came on top. The only time we won a league against us was when we were decimated with injuries.
You cannot do this, because if you do this, Arsenal fans will say, "But we took City to the last game of the season."
No, but it was just.
I guess you came out on top.
By the way, my opinion is that taking a team to the last game of the season proves to me that you're capable of winning the league. It's just small margins. There is a difference between falling at the end of the season, game week 33, 34, like what Arsenal did in the first season when Saliba got injured and Thomas Partey, and taking a team to the last game of the season, because it takes a red card or it takes a penalty or it takes a decision for you to win the league. That proves to me that you can win the league. Antonio Conte did it with Inter before. Napoli did it. When you take a team to the last game of the season, especially, it might switch your side by one decision. That tells me you're good enough to win the league. You're good enough. Your team is good enough to compete and win the league. That's what Liverpool did. Even though you didn't win it with Jurgen Klopp, 97 points and 92 points, it is proven that you can win it when things went your way. When things went your way, you won it.
No, but we've seen when it doesn't go our way, Mo. When, you got, Doku kicking McAllister in his chest. Those are the points you're talking about we could have got. Didn't get penalties.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think that decision goes Liverpool's way. Liverpool might be the champions now. They might have back-to-back. I believe so.
I think you were several points behind.
And that happened. Yeah. And nobody tells me it balances itself out. With all due respect, for example, I'm going to give you an example that people won't like it and say that, Mo, you're deluded. Young Son, 1-on-1, you would bank on him to score 9 times out of 10. He's one of the best finishers to play in the exactly. But 9 times out of 10, you would bet on Young Son scoring a 1-on-1, right? Same for McAllister. 9 times out of 10, that is a penalty and a red card. 9 times out of 10. It wasn't even given as a penalty. 9 times. A boot to the chest.
He invaded.
Okay, take that point away in that season, and what's the league? What's the final standing?
But you do remember that we was top in that season up to, I think it was game week 30 or 31 or something.
And then you melted down.
Yeah, but decisions didn't go our way. That's all I was saying. Earlier
that would have changed the whole.
Oh yeah, if we'd have got points there, that was in the last kick of the game. We was top. Get the last minute of the game. Get that. That's
number one that pushes City out of that. By the way, that game might have pushed City 5 or 6 points behind Liverpool. That game.
Yeah, but with 8 games to go, there's a lot can happen.
6 games. I don't think that you would have
done it before.
We did choke. To be fair, we did. We were leading and we choked.
Yeah, 100%. Let me do a couple of these super chats. Welcome, Jess.
Someone said you're wearing a Spurs hat in the chat.
You're muted, actually, Jess. You muted yourself.
Oh, everyone watches women's sports. That's what her hat says.
You muted yourself, Jess. I can't unmute you. I couldn't unmute you.
Sorry. No, I was saying it's everyone watches women's sports hat.
Great hat.
Well, yeah. I watched some of the Euros though with my wife, but it was not bad.
I know it wasn't bad, was it? Except for the pens. But
it wasn't bad. It was okay. The work Liverpool have done is top, and I think this year will be hard. However, I do back my team Chelsea to be in a threat in the coming years. 100%. Chelsea can be a threat, 100%. But again, Liverpool are doing better work. So you're getting better, but Chelsea are getting much better than you, my friend. Blaze here is saying, Arsenal really cannot build through the middle. The one time Raya passed inside, Skelly lost it, lack of options, and they concede. Basmati with 4 passes in 50 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, bro.
Did you wake up at 4:30 for that, Jess?
She has to.
I have to. Yeah.
That's a job. He's a content creator. That's a job.
Yeah.
I woke up even at 6:30 to watch the game, and it's not even my team playing.
Exactly.
It's a job. It's a job. What percentage does Isak join? I can only be excited about domination talks until then, to be honest. But even with Ekitiki, we win, but not dominant. Fair enough, my friend. Fair enough. I think Isak will join Liverpool. I think that everything points that Isak, I think unless something dramatic happens, Isak will stay at Newcastle. But I think that he will join Liverpool. And I think Liverpool are favourites to win the title. Things are not, it's not played on paper, football. Everyone knows that. But the signs are saying that Liverpool will retain the title next season. And people have to live with it until proven otherwise. Edgy opinions like, oh my God, no, Arsenal will win it. Okay, that's back in your team is fine. And I like it, right? But it's not realistic. Back in City's team, again, is good for Pep Guardiola, but it's not realistic. Liverpool, reigning champion. They're getting probably the best striker in the league. They got the best creator in Germany. They're signing center backs. They renewed their best players. So people have to accept it, basically. But look, guys, there's over 1,000 people in the house, guys, and we're only on 200 likes. Hit that like button. I know that people didn't watch the Arsenal games. I did. It was depressing. I'm just gonna be honest. It was depressing tactically. If that is the sign of how Arsenal will approach next season, this is ridiculous. Number one, Reece Nelson in 10 minutes have showed me more than Martinelli have played in 70 minutes, which is ridiculous. Martin Odegaard is slow. Declan Rice is didn't do anything, and it's preseason. However, before Jess comes in and says, you watch Spurs play and you say that is a team that wanted to execute something in the game, and you can see it. Every time they got the ball, you can see what they're doing. Arsenal, is it a trial and error? What is he trying to do, Mikel Arteta? I don't know. But if I'm an Arsenal fan, should I be worried? A little bit, until you get Eze and you probably get a left winger or something like this. But these are a little bit of worrying signs. A little bit of worrying signs, to be honest. I know you did your match reaction, Jess, but
Yeah.
is this midfield gonna look like this?
I mean, we're not even playing our actual midfield that's supposed to be playing. We're playing Norgard, Rice, and Odegaard. I don't know why Zubimendi didn't start, but in the last two games when Zubimendi played, he was pretty much one of our best players. So not quite sure what Arteta is like up to with all of this, but I've said this since, like, I don't know why people are surprised. Until the attackers are different, it's going to be the same. Like, we've exhausted every like, Arteta can change things, but he's not going to. So the players need to change. And so if you start Havertz and Martinelli, you're going to get Havertz and Martinelli results. Like, that's just Havertz and Martinelli results. I don't know what to tell you.
I have an edgy opinion. I didn't think that Havertz was that bad.
But that's the thing. He doesn't have to be that bad to not be adding enough. He's never diabolical. And that's why people get away with the like, but he wasn't that bad. And it's like, but we still need so much more. Just running around. Well, let me ask you a question. How many times did he actually threaten Romero or Van de Ven?
0.
And that's my problem.
I don't think it was his problem. I think if you had Gyokeres there, it was going to be the same.
I don't.
Have you seen your midfield, Jess?
Yeah, but Gyokeres is actually going to make them have to defend. Do you actually think Romero and Van de Ven are thinking, you know what, Havertz might run in behind here, so we need to be close to him? Oh, you know, Havertz, they're not scared of him at all. He doesn't occupy center backs. He's one of the main reasons why when Saka gets the ball, there's 4 people on him, because nobody has to watch Havertz. They're not afraid he's going to get it and turn and shoot. They're not afraid he's going to run in behind. They're not afraid he's going to take a shot from outside the box. They're not afraid he's going to do anything.
I like this argument.
So again, like, of course, the midfield needs some work for sure, especially like whatever's going on the left-hand side is not working. But ultimately, like, you need players that defenders are afraid of. And right now they're only afraid of Saka. They don't need to mark Havertz. He doesn't ask them any questions. So there's several things here, but you know, I think Arteta needs to, whatever plan he has going on. And I think one of my main concerns was his rotations today. I think he pretty much played his hand on like who he wants to start on the first game of the season, because this is the first time we didn't do like full 11s out. If you're going to actually start the first games of the season without Zubimendi, pack your
No,
shit.
he's gonna start Zubamendi. Jess, he's gonna start Zubamendi.
No,
he's
he's
gonna
not.
start Zubamendi.
Let me
Norgard is the new guy, Jess.
Let me land. I know this man so well. At this point, if your starting midfield is going to be Zubamendi, Rice, and Odegaard, who needs to be playing together for 70 minutes? Zubamendi, Rice, and Odegaard. They have yet to play together for more than like 20 minutes. He's going to start Norgard. And the reason why he's going to start him is because, well, Zubamendi hasn't played in the league. I need my Premier League proven guy. Blah, 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 blah. That team is most likely going to start at the beginning of the season, I think.
Why Norgard?
Because he's Prem proven.
No.
He's up to speed. He knows what the league is about. Arteta's a fearful man. He's a fearful man. He's a fearful man. So if Zubamendi doesn't, let's see how the next 2 games go. I think we play 2 Spanish teams in the Emirates Cup. If he starts starting those 3 together, then fair enough. But I would not be surprised if basically the team that started today is the team that starts the season, because the only 2 players that he seems to be okay with playing right away are players that have played in the Prem before. He has Gyokeres coming from a different league. He should got way more than 10 minutes today. I thought that was just, come on, Mikel, like grow up. Like you need to play your main guy now. Like Havertz, we've done this already. We don't have to pretend like he's good anymore. Like, come on, the gimmick it's up. The jig is up. It's insane. So we'll see how these first 2 Spanish games go. And who starts in those games. But like on a scale of 1 to 10, how worried I am, probably like a 5, because I need to see 2 games.
5?
Yeah, like a 5. That's like 50%. I'm worried. Yeah,
that's a lot.
I gotta go listen to this stream you did.
Yeah, I
need to go and listen to it.
That's low. I feel like if you ask other Arsenal fans, they're like already at like a 7 or 8.
Is that the ones I speak to, they're saying you guys are gonna go and dominate the league.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah, my friend is saying that too. He's
no, they're not. I don't be believing y'all when you be saying that. You have like one friend, and his name is Ty or something like that. Like come on.
You're funny, Jess. You're funny, Jess. You're funny, Jess. It's like his name is Ty. That's your friend.
Wearing the headphones.
I'm done. I'm not talking anymore now because now I feel like I'm saying things I shouldn't.
Jess is out of breath.
He's gonna get us in trouble.
No, I can understand why you guys didn't start Gyokeres yet, but the Zubamendi one is strange though. Why is he not?
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Do you think
your midfield needs chemistry?
Do you think he start? Is it because you think the combative midfield that's going to be Spurs and he thought let's go with Norgard for that one? But then if that's what he's going to do, then how is he going to battle test Zubamendi then?
Arteta has chased this man for 2 years, by the way. So This is not a player that he does not want or he's fearful that can play in the Prem. I just think Arteta is fearful of the only players that I've ever seen him just throw into the fire are Rice and Kai. And I think it's mostly because they've played in the Prem. I think Norgard gives him a little bit of a crutch to go with somebody that he knows how to play against Premier League opposition. Arteta, he's scared. That man is scared, so I don't know. Let's see how the next 2 games go.
He's scared. But scared of what?
Because he has to win now. He has to win now.
Guys,
there is getting to him, maybe.
He doesn't have any room to be scared. With all due respect.
But that's the thing. Arteta in the last 2 years, I think, has shifted from a fearless to fearful because of what happened in 22-23. And so everything we do is reactive instead of trying to be the team that's hurting the other team. Everything is just a little bit risk adverse. And I do agree that we need new players and all this type of stuff. But I think one of the more disappointing things for a lot of Arsenal fans is that Arteta hasn't even tried to tweak tactics at all. He was so desperate to throw everything out from the 22-23 season after one fuck up where we didn't win. But the last 2 seasons, I would say that we've played worse football and it hasn't gotten us any closer to where we want to be technically, but he wants to keep that. And so for him not to even attempt to tweak it even at all is concerning. It is concerning. I'm like, you threw away the best football that you've ever played, but now you want to play this funeral football. Really? What are we doing here? He needs, I mean, what is the point of Gabriel Heinze, a new assistant coach, get in his ear and say, this is not working, G. This is not it. You know, so yeah.
He's got Gabriel Heinze as a coach.
He's our new assistant.
Okay, fair.
He's our new assistant. Yeah.
Is that how the preseason has gone? Because I've not watched any of Arsenal's games, to be fair. Is that there's no tactical tweak? There's no
the funny thing, the first 2 games, because we were more mixing and matching, you saw different results. So obviously some things were better than others, but we were a lot better in the last 2 games than we were in this one. But shock, you know, you need to change things. When you change things, you get different results, Mikel. Yeah. Now you went back to the old standard and we look like rookie, you know, like, you know, so it's, yeah, but I think it also like adds the other layer that, you know, it's Tottenham and all that kind of stuff. For me, it's not really like that. It could have been anybody. We lost to teams this exact same way last season, where they score a random goal, we make a mistake, whatever, and we just don't really look like scoring. That's a problem. That's not a Tottenham Arsenal problem. That is an Arsenal problem. So yeah, he needs to figure that out. But when you have me asking for Madueke, you've broken me. I'm broken.
Oh, wow.
I'm a broken human. I need that man starting with his headband on that first game of the Emirates Cup. First game. I'm not watching Martinelli anymore, y'all. I'm done.
I didn't know it was that bad over there at the moment. It's good. It's good science. I like it.
Yeah, it's bad.
At least I know my fan base isn't the only one melting down. But honestly, to kind of echo what you're saying, this is the time to kind of play different formations. Like, he should be playing like a different formation every game, even if they get their butts kicked, just to kind of see, like, lay out the landscape. But I know this is kind of a derby, so maybe that had something to do with it. But also,
that shouldn't matter.
Franks loves playing like that haram ball. So that, I didn't watch the game, but that is Thomas Franks. Like, that's what
that shouldn't matter. For me, it's like, it's not about the result. I just want to see us play. We could have lost 1-0 or even 2-0. But if we had peppered the keeper and played a different style and looked dangerous, I can accept that. But I can accept losing the same way that we usually do last season. I can't really accept that. So he should be trying new things. And I think something that's worked for him in this preseason is integrating more of Ethan, using a little bit of Dauman, that kind of stuff, you know, and Zuba freaking Mendy. Zuba Mendy. Remember the guy you chased for so long? And I like Norgard, but like not too much. So yeah, but we'll see next week. You know,
that Nordic Rice midfield genuinely hurt my eyes. It did hurt my eyes too, a little bit.
It was bad.
But I'm gonna have another take about this. Say it as it is. He's a damn coward. No, that's an Arsenal fan. He is a little bit. I just want to say something. I actually think that the biggest problem with Arsenal in that midfield is Martin Odegaard at the current moment. Based on what I've seen, is the Martin Odegaard problem. I've actually said on many streams, there is an echo or something coming.
Hold on, let me do this.
Like, I actually think, and people in the chat can come at me for this, I have said that Martin Odegaard needs to go back to his best, and if he doesn't go back to his best, that Arsenal midfield is not going to make things happen. And today I see him passing around, looking okay, looking slick in the passing and everything. But in the same time, he's just another guy. Like, he doesn't offer anything special. I get it. You can have 2 players in the midfield that don't offer anything special. Someone that stops transition and the other guy that crashes the box. But you need the third guy to be special. Any team in the world cannot have 3 players that are all like, yeah, we can pass the ball around. That it's fine. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen. Teams don't win games like this. You need at least someone to have a different approach to the game. Norgard today, and a lot of people have slagged him off, and I'm like, yeah, what Norgard did today is very simple. Stop transition, pass the ball to the next guy. There's a lot of players in the world for teams that win trophies that do this. You don't have to be the best guy on the pitch. Declan Rice didn't pass the ball around a lot. He's a box crasher. Now I'm looking at the captain and the third guy. What are you doing? What did you do different? Like, if I put, with all due respect, anyone on the pitch to pass the ball around, you'll do the same job. You'll do the same job as you. You're not. You are the captain and you're supposedly the creative guy. You are the Foden, the Shirky, the Wirtz, the McAllister, the Palmer of this team. what does Odegaard do different than anyone else in the league? Anyway, nothing.
Mo, do you remember in the last stream I was on and I asked the guys on there about the midfield for Arsenal? I said, if one of these guys are not there, who else is there for them? You know, if they're going to go the whole season. And you've already seen that Martin Odegaard is still not at his best. The manager doesn't want to play Zubimendi at the moment. And then Norgard is just a very simple footballer.
Yeah, but Zubimendi wouldn't do anything. Like Zubimendi is building from the back. That will allow Odegaard to be a little bit close to the 18, right? I watch Odegaard be close to the 18 today. My man is still, he takes a shot here and there, but he shows the simple things, you know, like just pass the ball around. Bro, so sometimes in low blocks, like I was watching, I think, I don't know, like I opened a watch along, somebody, I can't remember who. And they were saying like, can you do something different? Can you stop passing to your right?
Yeah.
Can you do something else other than just pass to your right side? Like, can you, something out of the box as a midfielder?
I have a take on Odegaard, though. I feel like there's not going to be anybody more emblematic of Arteta's football than his captain. And I think there's nobody that's going to follow the rules to a T like his captain. I think I think the reason why people are asking for more from Odegaard is not because they've never seen him do these things before. It's because we know he can do so much better. We've seen it before.
Yes.
The fact that the football has regressed over the last 2 seasons, to me, it's not just about like Odegaard's not doing it. I don't actually see anybody in our team taking risks. Because that's why I always ask him, like, he's not taking risks, but is anybody else? I can understand.
Reece Nelson did, Jess.
Reece Nelson's not an Arsenal player. He's going to be at Fulham. I'm talking about the people that are actually going to be here. Who's actually taking risks in this team? So, of course, you want to see the captain do more. But there's not anybody in this team that's going to follow the rule book more than Martin Odegaard. And this is why I still feel like, okay, you're going to, let's say, Odegaard, Martinelli, Havertz, all these people need to come out. We'll do something different. But I think we're letting Arteta off the hook quite a bit. This is his style of football. Odegaard would not be doing these things if Arteta was not asking him to keep it simple. Who takes risks? No one takes risks. Nobody dribbles. Nobody beats their man. Martinelli gets the ball, pass backward. Saka kind of does the same thing every time, even though he's more successful than Martinelli because he's way better. As a team, we're risk adverse. And to me, that comes from the manager. Do I wish that somebody would break free? Yes, but Arteta runs a tight ship. So the only players that don't have that right now are the players that haven't been Arteta-fied. Dowman, Ethan, Zubi. Give them a couple months.
There will be Arteta. Jess, can I ask a question?
Funny. I make the same complaints about Pep.
Because I asked, I can't remember the guy's name, so forgive me, apologies. I asked them about your midfield, Arsenal, and I said, if you name me your 3 best midfielders, who else is there after that, if there's any injuries, to try and understand the depth of your team. And they couldn't give me, names that I thought was good enough to say you had a City the following week and you had a few knocks. What does your midfield look like to you? Start the season, and then who you think is on the bench of quality that could come in and do anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why. I mean, are we ignoring the fact that we're trying to get Eze, or no?
Because
where are you planning to play him? Is it left, or is he going to be playing actually as a 10? Because you got Odegaard that plays the 10, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Like, I feel like the elephant in the room is but people are trying to figure out which midfielder is not going to play. But the reality is we need 4 top quality midfielders that can plug and play. I think the Odegaard is a problem, but left center mid is a huge issue. And I know like Rice is one of my favorite players. I love him down. Against deep blocks, mid blocks, he's not the kind of guy that's going to sit in the pockets. And our left-hand side is very much so like a dead zone. So I could easily see Eze playing off of that left-hand side, playing as a left center mid, left 10, whatever. We change the dynamics. To me, it would actually be better if we're going up against teams and we need to score a goal to take off one of the DMs and put another attacker in there. That's what normal teams do. It's not the end of the world if you take a DM off. Like, it's not the end of the world. Take a fullback off. Who cares, you know? So I think Eze opens up doors to take Rice off or put him in the DM, or leave Zubimendi, play Eze, play Odegaard, play somebody else, play Eze, play Rice, play Zubi. Like, you need to have those different types of situations. It'll also push the players that are kind of safe to do more. But I think that's why Arteta really wants Eze, because he needs somebody to save him from himself. He needs somebody that can exist in those pockets, and nobody can do it on the left, because unfortunately Arsenal cannot seem to they can't develop players that are not left-footed on the right-hand side. It's just Ethan and Dowman and Odegaard. They're all the same. Somebody needs to be on the left. To me, Eze is more of a left wing, left 10 type of player. So he'll help that side. But I know people cannot imagine a team without Rice in it.
Yes.
But I do think we need to be able to envision this team with certain players out, whether that's Odegaard, Rice, whoever, because it's just not that deep. I'm sure you're a Liverpool fan. I'm sure that you can envision a team without Szoboszlai. You can envision a team without McAllister every once in a while, because you have 4 top quality midfielders, do you not?
Yeah.
Or it's Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Gravenberch, and then some others hanging around, the Curtis Joneses and those guys. So, like, why for Arsenal is it like, oh my God, my brain's hurting, what's going to happen? Like, it's not that deep. Just add Eze and just let's go about our lives. Like, I don't get it. So we need him bad. We need him bad. Without him, I think the window is not a fail, but I would call it like a 6 out of 10. Like, you need Eze, and you probably even need a left winger. Like, unless
I think the left winger is a must. I'm watching Martinelli today, and I'm like, my eyes hurt. What is this?
Yeah, he's
what is this?
He's really bad.
Like, he's even worse than the end of last season when he was playing not great. Like,
is he a confidence thing with him?
This is Granit Xhaka.
It's not even. I feel like, of course, I think that was a better balance, because for some reason we've stopped, like, everything that Xhaka was, whoever we brought in after that does not replicate those qualities in any way, shape, or form, and it's broken down that entire side, and it makes Martinelli's flaws so big. They're like blinking like that. And Arteta doesn't have the ability to, like, okay, well, we're going to play you this way, get you closer to goal. We're going to do this to allow you to do the things that you do well. Arteta leaves you out to dry. He does this thing where then he highlights the things that you don't do well, like puts you out on the touchline and you're not a touchline winger. Keep you away from other players so you can't combine quickly, not get you into the box enough. Martinelli is definitely suffering from the system, but that's also why we need somebody else, because we know Mikel's hard-headed. If you did not, you've had multiple summer windows, you brought in Rice, Havertz, and Marino, you're not concerned about helping Martinelli. You're not concerned about getting a Xhaka-like player. You spent $100 million on 2 players that are box crashers that play better at center forward. You know, so Martinelli has to go, because essentially, if you're at left wing, you on your own. It's just you, you know, so you need to be able to do more by yourself, and he's just not that guy. I do feel bad for Martinelli, but it is what it is. You know, we have to get somebody else.
First 2 games, we looked good. Attackers were high. We played more transitional. Is Ethan starting by your logic? He started the first 2 games?
Not necessarily, but I think the combinations of him coming in made it different, because I think in the last game, Ethan really kind of struggled because we didn't get in the ball in between the lines. And when it was Odegaard, Zubi, and Rice for that little minute, that was the best that we played in preseason. So, but Ethan needs to be used more. He needs to be used. He didn't even play today. So I don't know, you know, but he needs to be used more because he's a good player.
I have a question for you, Jess.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you sign Eze, what do you think your best midfield is? Is it Zubi, Rice, Eze? So I still think there's an issue there, because I rate Declan Rice very highly defensively, but going forward, that could be one of the problems. He's just not super. He's not super creative.
I think it depends on who we play. I think it depends on who we play, but that's kind of what I want. I don't want there to be a set best midfield. I really want it to be a little bit more like up for debate. But I would say, based on I love Eze so much that I would view him as a starter. But I also love Rice a lot too. So it just depends. But Eze needs to come in and shake the table. He needs to come in and shake the table so we can really see if somebody loses their spot because Eze is playing really well. It's probably because we're getting close to being where we want to be. And I'm okay with that, despite my best players or my favorite players not playing. But it shouldn't be that clear. I feel like at this stage for Arsenal, who our best midfield is, I think we have questions at the back sometimes like, oh, is it going to be Timber? Is it going to be who? You know, but at midfield, it's really like it's nailed on. And I think that's kind of scary. It shouldn't be like that.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you guys something for real? We all do these shows. Most of us are content creators, and we talk about the football and everything. Why, when we discuss Arsenal, there is a lot of problems. Liverpool, why we don't talk about these problems? Why do we talk about City's? We don't talk about City's problems as like, yeah, defense is bad. If they get a center back, okay, it's fixed. While we're talking about Arsenal getting one of the most, like, not like physically, the most, I think Eze is phenomenal, right? Even if Arsenal get Eze, people still don't trust Arsenal to fix their problem. They got the striker, backup center back. They have two of the best right backs in the league in Timber and Ben White. Lewis Kelly, Calafiori. They have Declan Rice, Odegaard, Zubamendi. Why nobody has trust? What is it? And don't tell me it's the manager. Like, I don't want, like, don't tell me it's the manager for one reason, because that same manager, right, is the one that took City to the final day of the season. That the manager that was second for 3 years, he coaches a good team. He improved. Why? Like, why Jess as an Arsenal fan? And I'm not asking this to Jess. Why rivals? Like, when we sit and talk, I'm not a rival for Arsenal. We're like, okay, this is the problem. I don't think Arsenal are going to be great because of this. It's every season. It's the same thing. I don't know why.
Do you know what? I think that Jess was right earlier when she said the way they used to play, he was playing without fear. And I enjoyed that Arsenal football as a rival, the way that they were playing. And if for some reason Arteta went, nah, that's not going to help me win the league. And I'm like, no, it will. Just stick to what you wanted. He went more defensive, started getting more defensive type players. And then it became, oh, we just want to score a goal, and we shut up shop. And then it was about just the defense. And then the attack then lost out a bit. Then the over-reliance on like a Saka and stuff like that didn't help. They've said for years, you need a striker. He just kept buying midfielders and buying defenders. So I think it is. I know you didn't ask for who it is, but I think it is partly his fault as well, because he kind of did the stubborn thing when he could have just stuck to his guns, played his exciting football, get some attacking players, buy a number 9, and I think he would have been fine. But he went, no, let's go defensive. Let's get more midfielders than attackers. Let's get more defenders than attackers. And now it's about who do you play. And then now this season, the pressure is on because he has to deliver now. You got your number 9 now, go and deliver. But the problem he has now, he's got so many players. What's the best combination? And that's probably where he's going to find it very difficult. What combination works best to get the best out of the whole squad? What system is going to work best to get it out? Because you've seen it, not obviously not from Jess, but just the online fans in general. And it goes for my fan base at times. If we draw or drop points, it's a meltdown and a crash out. You win, none of those problems seem to have an issue. Yeah, it's just
for sure.
So I think if Arsenal won today, they would have been like, look, Arsenal, fantastic. I think Arteta is this, Arteta is that. But now you've lost.
But they didn't. And they didn't play well. You see the difference here? Like, it's, if Arsenal, but they didn't. And they didn't play well.
I kind of understand why with everyone else, there's an emphasis on the manager, but whenever Arsenal are not doing something, I feel like Mo, you in particular, is like, yeah, but Mikel got us to a semifinal. It's kind of like, but Mikel also is somebody that pushed the club to get Havertz. The domino effect from that and not getting a striker is that when you're playing against PSG and you need a goal, there's nobody fucking there to put the ball in the back of the net. No, we didn't create a whole bunch of chances, but when you go back and watch that game, there was, after they scored their initial goal at home against us in the 4th minute, Martinelli had a chance up against Donnarumma and kicked it straight to the fucking goalkeeper. So it's, of course, it's of like the players are the problem, but you could have replaced Martinelli a couple years ago. You could have never ever got Havertz. He's not like out of the blame. And at a certain stage, he's changed every single player. Every single player now. I think the last player that was pre-Mikel was Tierney. Everybody that plays for Arsenal right now has either been kept, extended, or bought by Mikel. This is your team. The only thing that's not changed is him. He's the only thing that's not changed. Players have changed, sporting directors changed, the weather's changed, everything has changed, but not you. So at this point, I'm just doing like a normal, analysis. If all these things have changed, but the results haven't changed, maybe it's him, you know, because that's the only thing I can go off.
Yeah,
of.
that's fair. I said a year ago, I think Kai Havertz might be the downfall of Mikel Arteta as a football manager, that signing in particular, because I think that 65 million that he spent on Kai Havertz, if this money was spent somewhere else on an attacker that is just more established and better, probably Arsenal would have maybe they would have won the league actually the season with City. And I said that, like, yes, he scored like 14 goals, but you watch him play, he's not bad, but he's not what you're looking for in a team, especially for a team that doesn't have Mohamed Salah and doesn't have Kevin De Bruyne, that needs everyone to contribute to the team to win the title, right? Now, with Berta coming in, I'm willing to wait and see what Arteta will do with Arsenal this season, because we all know, everyone knows, and the fans, rivals, that Arteta for 2 seasons wanted Sesko. They didn't want Gyokeres. He wanted Benjamin Sesko. He was willing to bet a whole season on waiting on Benjamin Sesko this summer. And Andrea Bertan said, no, he's too expensive for what it is. Look at him now, Sesko. Man United is still making up his mind. And now they got him Gyokeres. Eze, I don't think that Arteta would have. Yeah, people say, Arteta liked Eze. There was no talk about Eze to Arsenal last season. There was talk about others. There wasn't talk about Eze. So for me, I think Berta's changing the vision of how the manager will look at players. Now, the problem with Arsenal is that your players are so bad that you can't sell them. Like, who's going to pay for Martinelli for you to get Rodrigo, for example? Who's going to
I don't think Martinelli costs a lot of money, though. So, and he's young, and those are the kind of players who seem to go.
Yeah, but you need the money. For example, look at how Liverpool sold Luis Diaz at 29 years old for 75 million euros plus.
Scam artist.
Right?
Absolute scam artist.
I'm telling you, if Arsenal try to sell Martinelli, Arsenal are not getting more than 40 million pounds max for someone like Martinelli.
Because they signed him like out of Brazil. What was he, like 10,
that is not
million,
the point. That is not the point. The point is not how much you pay. The point is how much you need to improve that position. That is the point. How much you need from Martinelli to be able to take that money and go improve that position. Trossard.
Yeah, but
also, like, go ahead.
You've fallen for the okie doke. Well, we don't need to sell to buy anyone. Yeah. We are pretending we need to sell because the Cronkies are tight. We don't need to sell anything. We could go get what we want right now, but the Cronkies are, well, we've already spent 200 million. You need to spend more. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think they ever anticipated having to put this much money into anything, but the Premier League now is different than it was 10 years ago. Like, people weren't spending 200 million every window. And that's the requirement now. You cannot go a window like we did last summer because there's repercussions for it. So we don't need to sell shit. We don't.
You can't have 4 wingers on the same side. Like, that doesn't work.
Chelsea do
Nobody has this. Chelsea don't even have that. Chelsea sold Madueke to you.
They have Gittins. They have
that's it.
They have a couple. They have winger. Even on it's not on the same side. Who cares? Some of our players play on both sides. Madueke plays on both sides. Whatever. Who cares?
You can't have Madueke, Saka, Nwaneri, Martinelli, Trossard.
You can't do that. We could have. Here's my thing: is even if you wanted to sell, why is there never the option to buy first? Why do we always have to sell first before we move? Buy first. Buy first and then sell after. You could sell Trossard this summer, in January, or next summer. Who cares? Bring the player in. It's not going to, especially when, and this is what I'm saying, Mo, they've put out several articles this summer talking about no PSR issues, one of the highest revenues that they've ever had, tons of money that they could spend, unprecedented window, blah, blah, blah. I'm not trying to hear, we have 2 left wingers, so gotta sell Trossard for 20 million before we can do anything. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm really not. So I think it's all BS. You can't be over here talking about we have all this money, but then not really want to sell it.
War chest.
Yeah, I'm not
they do have a lot of money.
If they wanted to, they would. but they don't want to because they're like, well, we've reached the 200 million threshold now, but it's not about how much you spend, it's how you spend, like how you spend it. And so far, we've done some good things backfilling the squad. But in terms of level raisers, we actually still haven't gotten that done. So you have to keep spending, especially since last summer you decided to stand still and do nothing. So I'm not buying it. Mo, you would be a perfect top gooner because you fall for it every time.
Well, you guys did spend money. Some of it you just didn't spend very well. Like the Kai Havertz money, that was.
But then you still have to spend. That you like in this league in particular, there's no way to do anything until you have to spend your way out of it. There's no way, like everybody spends money. You made a mistake, fix it. You know, that we don't have to just suffer with Havertz. Like nobody does that. Even Man United, as much as I like say that they don't spend well, one thing that they will do is they made a mistake with Haaland that never stopped them from going out there and buying someone else. So why do we have to suffer?
Liverpool suffer. Liverpool don't replace players when they don't. The only two teams that do this are City used to do that and Chelsea lately. Liverpool suffered with Naby Keita for years because they couldn't sell him. Liverpool with Thiago Alcantara, they couldn't sell the guy until he just literally retired. The Robertson, Tsimikas, they can sell Tsimikas. Now they're spending the money. Just the reality is, just in football, two teams apart from Man City don't rectify the mistakes the season after. Only Chelsea did that. Now with the new ownership, they do. Like they buy a striker, it doesn't work. They buy a next one. But Liverpool suffered. Ends can tell you, Liverpool suffered for years. Like until this moment, they're not trying to get rid of Darwin Núñez. They haven't gotten rid of Darwin Núñez.
But Liverpool had a better manager, though. Like Klopp was able to work within those confines very well, and he turned he was able to turn the trash into treasure. And Arteta
no, but do you want me to tell you just the reality? Liverpool, when they hit the jackpot, and with Jurgen Klopp, and they hit the jackpot with three players, in particular three players. Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and Alisson. When Alisson was at Roma, he was a great
big
goalkeeper.
On Van Dijk, though. Let's not pretend he was a 35 million pound signing like Salah was.
By the way, Virgil van Dijk was 75 million, right? Kai Havertz is 65 million. But Virgil van Dijk, his effect on Liverpool, I remember January 2018. Virgil van Dijk arrives at Arsenal at Liverpool, and completely Jurgen Klopp changes the way he plays football. He pushes the line 10 yards. The press now is starting 10 yards higher just because you have Virgil van Dijk. Mohamed Salah starts scoring goal. Everyone now is serving Mohamed Salah to score goals with Mane and Firmino around him. Arsenal don't have that. Arsenal are too attached. I swear to God, Jess, I've had people in my chat telling me, no, Mo, we might need to give Martinelli another chance. What?
Yeah.
Chelsea
Another chance?
would have sold him by now and
do you know what?
like 3 of the replacements.
I'm just gonna say, because she's talking to me about the top corner. I did a solo stream, Jess, and I had a lot of people here. And I said that Mikel Arteta is crazy to convince Zinchenko to stay. People in the chat didn't like that. No, Mo, he's a good squad player. And I'm like, bro, move on. Just get over your khalas. It's done. It's all over. Khalas. You dated that girl. It didn't work out with her. Just move on, bro. Don't marry the girl because you're too attached and you're too afraid of change. That is what happens with some Arsenal fans, bro. Just move on. It's okay. It's all right. Just the next one. It is fine.
That's
even more than that, though. The club needs to get over certain things. Like it always takes 2 summers before they do what needs to be done. I remember after like the 23-24 season, I remember doing a stream like specifically and saying, this is the perfect time to get rid of Gabriel Jesus. Not because he's a terrible player or anything, but he's never going to be fit. And so it's fine. The amount of pelters I got for that. And then Arteta goes into pressers talking about he's got fire in the belly. He looks different just for him to be injured the entire freaking season. I just don't understand it. Like now they want to get rid of him, of course. And Berta's trying to kick him out the door, but he's injured. So like, it's difficult. Just get rid of people a year earlier. Like it's not that big of a deal. Last summer, we should have gotten an Eze type of player. That player could be ready, to step in if Odegaard's not ready, Rice not ready. We waited too long. We're always taking too long. We're like a year too late, but whatever.
Yeah, I know. Let me do this super chat so we can. By the end, if you want to say something before we do the super chat.
Can you hear?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Oh no, I think you was frozen. I thought it was just me. No, I was just reading some of the chat, man. These guys are killing
McDonald's
me.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to be hardwired after this.
No, I think you made some great points in terms of Liverpool, man.
You should power cycle your modem and your router. That helps sometimes. Like power cycle, like unplug them for like 5 minutes and then plug them back in.
No, you made some great points, though, more about Liverpool. I think you're right. We've got players that we can sell. I think Arsenal's problem, they don't actually have that at the moment. But I think Jesse's right. They don't have to sell. The owners just need to step up. We as Liverpool fans have said that about our owners for years. We're always in profit. We're never spending. But now they're listening to us, and now they're doing what we told them to do. When we last won the Premier League, we said just invest, make the squad better. They didn't do that. You saw what happened the season after. We lost pretty much everyone in the team. But now we're at a position, man, where we're strengthening, in the position of power. So I love it that Arsenal, they're not doing, they're crashing out at the moment. Man City, yeah, let's see what they can do. But hey, there's only one champion at the moment, and we're looking to retain that title.
Just a couple of questions. Has Arsenal peaked? No big trophy decline? Anyone
That's
sees
an interesting question, because if they peaked, they didn't win anything. Are you going to flex the Community Shield? That's all they won.
I don't know, to be honest.
Which I'm told is not a trophy.
They have peaked, though.
That is very dangerous. If that is the case, it's as a football club, that is super dangerous. If you have peaked and you haven't won the league or the Champions League.
Or even an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup.
It's very dangerous.
That's a great question, boy.
Stop talking about the damn past, Mo. Arteta is the biggest problem. Okay. I think if you don't win it, he's gonna be moved.
Arteta, lots of players. I think that Arsenal fan base, I think they just gas up certain players into things that they're not. I only see one actual difference maker on that team.
AMT, I hear you, bro. I hear you. Probably, maybe we'll talk about next season. Mo, do you still believe Chelsea attracting players not for the project but for the longer contracts? Happens to see your rant on Terry 2 years ago. 2 years ago. So you watched this 2 years ago. I still think that some of the players, just to answer you, my friend, I still see some of the players that Chelsea buy are investments. Like if they work, if they don't work, we just move them on. Vega, for example, that is an example. But anyway, that is the thing. Just wanted to say something before we end the show, and I fixed this damn internet.
Oh no, I was just saying, if you've seen the players play better before, I think it's really difficult to say that it's not the manager. I don't know, but some people it's like, I don't know.
I think
it could be both the players and the manager. It could
definitely be both. But when the manager's not even getting as much as he can out of the players, I'm less immediate. I'm more looking at you, because you were doing that 2 years ago. Now you're not, and you're actually setting up players even your £100 million signing, you're not even using to the best of his ability. You like to waste money, so I'm gonna need you to fix up.
He's just very much like Pep. Pep plays players out of position.
Don't tell me Arteta's like
about Martinelli.
I think that is the biggest insult to Pep Guardiola, but fun.
He just picked up traits, Mo. That's all he did
last season. Not fun to watch.
Big up people that joined us. She knows Arsenal in the description. She just did a stream. Go and watch her talk about the game. She did the stream before this. Football with Ends is in the description as well. Go guys and support. I am back at 7 p.m. UK for the Sholoso that we do every day after the top 6, of course, of the Football Terrace. Thank you just for joining. Good luck. Ends, appreciate you so much. We'll talk more. Kel, appreciate you so much. Hit that like button, people, before you leave. We still have a lot of people here and you haven't hit the like button. I will see you guys later. We're out of here, people.